There is a story often told about a fisherman who spent his entire life at sea. One day, a young man asked him, "What was the greatest lesson the ocean ever taught you?" The old fisherman replied, "That calm waters teach you comfort, but storms teach you strength." As we conclude this first regular session of the 20th Congress, I find wisdom in that simple lesson. For this has been no ordinary session. From its very beginning, this House found itself navigating rough seas. Allegations of massive corruption involving flood control projects cast a shadow over public discourse. Leadership transitions tested the stability of this institution. Beyond our shores, conflict in the Middle East sent shockwaves across the global economy and drove fuel prices upward, affecting every Filipino household. And perhaps most consequentially, this House was called upon to exercise one of its most solemn constitutional powers through the impeachment proceedings involving the Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines. The easy path would have been to retreat from controversy. The easy path would have been to avoid difficulty and difficult decisions or to remain silent. But public service was never meant to be easy. Sa panahon, ang pinakamadaling gawin ay manahimik, pinili ng kapulungan na gampanan ang tungkuling ito. Sa panahon ng pinakamadaling gawin ay umiwas, pinili nating humarap. At sa panahong ang pinakamadaling gawin ay magpalusot, pinili natin manindigan. That more than anything else defines this Congress. At the outset, allow me first to recognize the members of the minority bloc. We are few in number, but throughout this session, we proved that effective leadership is not measured by the size of one's ranks. We fulfilled our roles as fiscalizers. We asked difficult questions. We demanded accountability where accountability was necessary. We examined legislation with diligence and independence. Yet, we also understood that democracy works best when principled opposition is matched with responsible cooperation. Sa pagkakataong ito, nais ko rin pong bigyang pagkilala si Representative J.C. Abalos ng 4-Piece Party List. Chairperson ng Committee on Ethics and Privileges na kasapi ng Minority Bloc. Hindi po madaling tungkulin ang magsiyasat sa mga aligasyon laban sa kapwa mambabatas. Ngunit sa kabila ng pagiging sensitibo ng mga usaping ito, hindi nag-atubili ang komite na gampanan ang kanilang mandato. Sa kanyang pangungumuno, ipinakita ng Committee on Ethics and Privileges na ang pananagutan ay nagsisimula sa ating sariling hanay. Kung hinihingi po natin ng accountability mula sa iba, dapat handari po tayong pairalin ito sa ating sarili. Maraming salamat, Chairman Abalos, sa mga kasapi ng komite sa inyong katapangan, pagiging patas, at katapatan sa tungkulin. Ang minority bloc po ay hindi naging hadlang sa pag-unlad. Hindi po kami naging oposisyon para lamang sumalungat. Ang amin pong layunin ay tiyakin bawat batas ay mas magiging makatarungan, mas magiging epektibo, at mas magiging kapaki-pakinabang sa taong bayan. The minority did not merely criticize. We contributed. We worked constructively with our colleagues in crafting legislation, particularly the national budget, because we understood that the Filipino people deserve solutions, not endless political conflict. Maaring kakaunti po kami sa bilang, ngunit hindi po kailanman naging sukatan ng katotohanan ang dami. Ang mahalaga po ay may mga tinig na nagtatanong, may mga matang nagbabantay, at may mga pusong handang magsabi ng tama kahit hindi ito popular. To every member of the minority bloc, I offer my sincere gratitude and respect. Nais ko din pong pasalamatan ang ating majority leader, Representative Ferdinand Alexander Sandro Marcos III, na mahusay na gumabay sa daloy ng ating mga deliberasyon. The work of a majority leader often goes unnoticed by the public, but every member of this House understands the immense responsibility that accompanies the position. With intelligence, patience, and political maturity beyond his years, he skillfully shepherded numerous measures through the legislative process, built consensus among different viewpoints, and ensured that the work of this chamber moved steadily forward. Time and again, he demonstrated that leadership is not merely about counting votes, but about earning trust. For your dedication and commitment to this institution, we thank you, Majority Leader. I also thank our senior deputy speakers, senior deputy speaker, deputy speakers, and the members of the majority bloc. Though we did not always agree on some issues, we share the common duty to uphold the integrity of this House and faithfully serve the Filipino people. To Speaker Faustino Bujidi III, I offer my deepest appreciation. History often renders its judgment on leaders not in times of stability, but in moments of uncertainty. A few periods in recent memory have tested the Philippine legislature and profoundly as the times through which have passed. And this session provided no shortage of uncertainty, perhaps more than any other in recent times. Yet amid the turbulence, you remained focused on the work that truly matters, the work of serving the Filipino people. Sa gitna ng mga hamon, kontrobersya, at pagbabago ng panahon, hindi po ninyo hinayaang mawala sa landas ang kapulungan ito. Habang ang iba ay nakatingin sa politika, kayo po ay nakatuon sa paglilingkod. Habang ang iba ay nakatingin sa kaguluhan, kayo po ay nakatingin sa solusyon. Habang ang iba po ay nakatingin sa unos, kayo po ay nanatiling nakatuon sa layuning dapat maabot ng mga serbisyong dapat maihatid sa sambayanan. For your steady hand, your tireless work ethic, and your commitment to preserving the integrity of this House, we thank you, Speaker Bujidi. Ngunit hindi po lamang mga mambabatas ang dahilan kung bakit naging matagumpay ang sesyong ito. Sa likod ng bawat panukalang batas, bawat komite, committee hearing, bawat sesyon ng bawat botohan ay naroon ang mga kawani ng kapulungan. Sa ating pong secretariat, legislative staff, technical personnel, security personnel, at lahat po ng lingkod bayan na bihirang mabanggit, ngunit mahalaga sa bawat tagumpay ng institusyong ito. Sa kanila po, ang taus-puso nating pasasalamat. Ang kasaysayan ay maaaring maalala ang mga talumpati ng mga halal na opisyal. Ngunit ang araw-araw na gawain ng demokrasya ay nakasalalay sa sipag at dedikasyon ng mga taong hindi nakikita sa kamera. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Despite the challenges that confronted us, this House, under the leadership of Speaker Bujudi, can proudly point to the meaningful accomplishments. Foremost among these are the enactment of Republic Act 12314, the General Appropriations Act of 2026, through which we funded the programs and services that millions of Filipinos depend upon every day. We likewise enacted Republic Act 12315, extending the life of the Second Congressional Commission on Education, or EDCOM-2, recognizing that meaningful education reform requires sustained commitment and evidence-based policy making. We approved Republic Act 12316, providing a mechanism for the automatic suspension or reduction of excise taxes on petroleum products during extraordinary increases in world oil prices, helping shelled Filipino families from the effects of global shocks. And through Republic Act 12317, we strengthened the Bangsamoro transition process, reinforcing our commitment to peace, stability, and inclusive governance in Mindanao. These measures not always generate headlines, but they will leave a lasting impact in the lives of our people. At habang ipinagmamalaki po natin ang mga batas na ating naipasa, inikilala rin po natin na marami pang mahalagang reformang naghihintay sa ating pagkilos. Kabilang po dito ang mga panukalang magpapalakas sa transparency at accountability sa pamahalaan, magpapuhusay sa sistema ng procurement, magpapalawak ng serbisyong pangkalusugan para sa ating nakatatanda, magbibigay ng higit na proteksyon sa ating mga barangay health workers at iba pang hakbang na naglalayong pataasin ang kalidad ng pamamahala. Ang mga panukala pong ito ay nagpapaalala sa atin na ang paggawa ng batas ay hindi natatapos sa isang sesyon po lamang. Ang pagbuo po ng isang mas makatarungan, mas mahusay, at mas matatag na republika ay isang gawaing nagpapatuloy sa bawat kongreso at sa bawat henerasyon ng mga lingkod bayan. The work of nation building, after all, is never finished. If there was one issue that tested this institution more than any other, it was the impeachment proceedings involving the Vice President. Reasonable minds may differ on the merits of impeachment. That is the essence of democracy. But one fact remains beyond dispute. This House did not shirk from its constitutional duty. Hindi po natin hinanap ang tungkulin ito. Hindi po natin pinili ang pagkakataong ito. Ngunit nang tawagin po tayo ng saligang batas, tumugon po tayo. We acted because the Constitution required it. We acted because our oath demanded it. My dear colleagues, adversity has a way of revealing character. For individuals, it reveals values. For institutions, it reveals strength. This House was tested repeatedly throughout this first regular session. Yet, despite every challenge, every controversy, every disagreement, and every political storm, this institution continued to function. Laws were passed, debates were held, oversight was exercised, and public service continued. Ang tunay na sukatan ng isang institusyon ay hindi kung paano ito kumikilos sa panahon ng katahimikan. Ang tunay na sukatan ay kung paano ito tumatayo sa gitna ng unos. Sa ating pagbabalik sa ating mga distrito at mga sektor na ating pinaglilingkuran, dalhin natin hindi lamang ang ating mga tagumpay, kundi ang mga pangakong hindi pa lubusang natutupad sa mga gawaing naghihintay pa ng ating pagkilos. Sapagkat ang tunay na sukatan ng ating paglilingkod ay hindi po ang dami ng batas nating naipasa, kundi ang dami ng buhay nating napabuti. Let us always remember whom we serve. The ordinary Filipino who expects no miracle from this government. Only honesty, competence, and compassion. They are the reason we are here. They are the reason this institution exists. They are the reason our work must continue. At ngayon, nagtatapos ang ating unang regular na sesyon ng ika-20 Kongreso. Masasabi po natin na hindi naging madali ang paglalakbay. Ngunit sa bawat pagsubok, pinili po nating maglingkod. Sa bawat hamon, pinili po nating magpatuloy. At sa bawat pagkakataon, pinili po natin unahin ang sambayanang Pilipino. Sapagkat sa huli, hindi po tayo husgahan sa dami ng talumpati o sa init ng ating mga debate. Husgahan po tayo kung gaano natin napabuti ang buhay ng mga kababayan. At yan po ang gawain dapat nating pagpatuloy. Mahalaga pong tandaan, ang institusyon ay umiiral lamang dahil sa tiwalang ipinagkaloob ng sambayanan. Sa kabila po ng mga hamon at kontrobersya ang ating hinarap, dumubli ang trust rating ng Kamara. Mula 31% sa Pulse Asia Survey noong December 2025, ngayon po 62% sa survey ng RP Mission Development Foundation Incorporated noong Mayo 2026. Ito po ay hindi lamang pagkilala sa ating ginagawa at trabaho dito, kundi paalala. Pag-alala na ang tiwala ng taong bayan ay tunay na pinagmumulan ng ating mandato at lakas bilang institusyon. May 2 pang taon na natitira sa kasalukuyang Kongreso. Naway lalo pa po nating pagbutihin ang ating paglilingkod upang mapanatili at higit pang magpalakas ang tiwalang pinagkakaloob sa atin ng sambayanang Pilipino. And if there is one lesson this session leaves us, it is this. Ang matatag na institusyon ay hindi po yung hindi nasusubok. Ang matatag na institusyon ay yung hindi po sumusuko kapag sinusubok. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang kapulungan ng mga kinatawan. Mabuhay ang Republika ng Pilipinas. At higit sa lahat, mabuhay ang sambayanang Pilipino. Maraming salamat.